A senior U.S. official says Israel has essentially endorsed a framework of a proposed Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal, and it is now up to Hamas to agree to it. Today is Sunday, March 3rd, 2024, and this is the Dunkley Report. A senior U.S. official says Israel has essentially endorsed a framework of a proposed Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal, and it is now up to Hamas to agree to it. The official says Israelis have more or less accepted the proposal. It includes the 6-week ceasefire in Gaza, as well as the release by Hamas of hostages considered vulnerable. A senior Egyptian official says mediators, Egypt and Qatar, are expected to receive a response from Hamas during the talks set to resume Sunday in Cairo. A deal likely would allow aid to reach hundreds of thousands of desperate Palestinians in northern Gaza. U.S. military. C-130 cargo planes have airdropped food and aid in pallets over Gaza. It's the opening stage of an emergency humanitarian assistance authorized by President Joe Biden after more than 100 Palestinians who had surged to pull goods off an aid convoy were killed during a chaotic encounter with Israeli troops. 3 planes from Air Forces Central dropped 38,000 meals into Gaza at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday. The bundles were dropped in southwest Gaza, on the beach along the territory's Mediterranean coast, and U.S. officials said after the drops, they were able to see civilians access the food. The U.S. says the airdrop is expected to be the first of many. A ship attacked by Yemen's Houthi rebels has sunk in the Red Sea after days of taking on water. The Rubimar had been drifting after the attack in February. It marks the first ship sunk by the Houthis in their months-long attacks on shipping in the vital waterway. Yemen's internationally recognized government, as well as a regional military official, confirmed. Saturday, the ship sank. Many ships have already turned away from the route. The sinking could see further detours and higher insurance rates put on vessels plying the waterway, potentially driving up global inflation and affecting aid shipments to the region. Donald Trump has won the Republican caucuses in Idaho and Missouri, and he's captured all 39 delegates that were up for grabs at the Michigan Party convention. The former president is gaining more ground toward clinching the GOP nomination. His last major rival, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, is still seeking her first election season win. There are no Democratic contests Saturday. The next event on the Republican calendar is Sunday in the District of Columbia. 2 days later is Super Tuesday, when 16 states and American Samoa will hold primaries. An FBI informant who was once held up by Republicans as a credible source of information about Hunter Biden now finds himself charged with lying to federal authorities. Alexander Smirnov is accused of fabricating a tale of bribery and espionage involving then Vice President Joe Biden and a Ukrainian energy company. Smirnov also claims to have ties to Russian intelligence operatives. An Associated Press investigation into Smirnov details a businessman who operated a string of murky shell companies, ran with others who've been accused of fraud, and boasted of his own ties to the FBI. his lawyers say. Inquiries about Smirnov's past business dealings only deflect from the important question of the accuracy of his prosecution. Firefighters battling the largest wildfire in Texas history face increasingly difficult weather conditions and are focused on containing the northern and eastern perimeter of the fire while protecting life and property. Spokesperson Jason Nedlow, with a team of firefighters, said Saturday 15% of the 1,700 square mile fire is contained. The National Weather Service that says warm temperatures, strong winds, and low humidity are expected Saturday and Sunday. The Smokehouse Creek fire that began Monday in the Texas Panhandle has killed at least 2 people, left a charred landscape, dead cattle, and destroyed as many as 500 structures, including burned-out homes. The fire has also crossed the state line into western Oklahoma. An estimated 450,000 people attended the Woodstock Festival in August 1969. It was a haphazard event that now evokes memories about a society's state of mind nearing the end of a tumultuous decade. Most of that crowd was composed of teenagers or young adults now in the twilight of their lives. That ticking clock is why the museum at Bethel Woods, based at the site of the 1969 festival, is immersed in a 5-year project traveling around the United States. They are recording the oral histories of people who were there to preserve the Woodstock memories before they fade away. The Cove is a pop-up, 18 and up Christian nightclub in Nashville, Tennessee. It was launched last year by 7 black Christian men in their 20s who sought to build a thriving community and a safe space for young Christians outside houses of worship. It comes at a post-pandemic time of dwindling church attendance, especially among black Protestants, that surveys say is unmatched by any other major religious group. Club rules: no twerking, no drinking, no smoking. But they still dance the night away to Christian hip-hop, bachata, and reggaeton. Club founders hope to go on tour across America and inspire the creation of other dance and worship clubs for young people of faith across the world. A powerful blizzard that a meteorologist termed "as bad as it gets" is howling in the Sierra Nevada mountains. A long stretch of Interstate 80 in Northern California and several ski resorts remain closed Saturday because of gusty winds and snow. Tens of thousands of homes are without power in California and Nevada. The National Weather Service has issued a blizzard warning through Sunday for a 300-mile stretch of the mountain range in both states. Authorities are urging people to take shelter and stay off roads, and meteorologists predict more than 10 feet of snow will fall at higher elevations. There are just a few weeks left to pick your spot to see the total solar eclipse on April 8th in North America. The eclipse first hits Mexico's Pacific coast, cuts diagonally across the U.S. from Texas to Maine, and exits in eastern Canada. Most of the rest of the continent will see a partial eclipse. For those who live inside the 115-mile-wide path of total darkness, it may be a matter of just stepping outside. For the millions outside the path, it means hitting the road with a game plan to experience the full spectacle. Today's news was reported by the Associated Press. This has been the World News for Sunday, March 3rd, 2024. Thanks again for joining us at The Dunkley Report.